The testimony in Ottawa about the historic use of the Emergencies Act really heated up today as one of the most anticipated witnesses answered dozens of questions. And boy, oh boy, did it get emotional. Former Ottawa Police Chief Peter Sloly stood behind his original belief that despite intelligence collected, the protest was only going to take place over a single weekend and not become a 3-week occupation. Tearful Peter Sloly defending the Ottawa police response to the protest.
They were doing their very best under inhuman circumstances, like the city was, like the community was. It was too cold and it was too much.
Sloly saying he believes they were misunderstood and public trust was lost.
I think I've given this testimony in parliamentary standing committees. The level of disinformation and misinformation was off the charts. It was crushing to the members' morale. It was crushing to the incident command team's morale. It was crushing to my executive team's morale. I suspect it was crushing to the board.
But the inquiry quickly turned to the events that unfolded on the streets of Ottawa, Sloly saying it took just several hours to realize his previous understanding of the convoy was crumbling and that he had a full-blown occupation on their hands.
This was unprecedented. This was larger than your police service is going to be able to handle. It was national and in some cases international in scope. It was fueled by significant funding, significant misinformation, disinformation, and polarization, just to name a few.
During his testimony, the ex-chief defended his reading of intelligence reports and briefings that he had received in the days leading up to the protesters' planned arrival on January 28th, which he said led him to believe the demonstration against COVID-19 mandates would largely be a 3-day event. But here's the thing, the commission has seen reports and heard testimony indicating police had advance warning that members of the convoy were arranging hotels for weeks and wanted to stay in the capital until all vaccine mandates were repealed.
What could you have done differently as chief of police?
I think the broadest statement around understanding how to be able to be even more resilient during that level of time. I think there's a whole new level of science around sleep and wellness that probably executive leaders who face these types of sustained levels of crisis and pressure just need to understand how to develop a level of physical and emotional and psychological resilience to get through these things.
Sloly described how threats were escalating. He couldn't sleep. He was concerned about staffing levels. He told the commission that in the days after the protesters arrived, the most senior ranks of the police force suffered from disorganization and a lack of communication.
Can I ask, was it your decision to resign?
It was ultimately my decision. There was a lot of factors that went into it, yes.
Sloly stepped down on February 15th, the day after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the act amid widespread criticism of how he and the Ottawa police had handled the weeks-long protest. This inquiry is expected to last 6 weeks.